The ancient being loomed over Earth, watching as another alien fleet burned in orbit. Their mighty warships, blessed by gods and built with advanced technology, now scattered like broken toys across space. The Zothran Empire had thought humanity would be easy prey. After all, humans had no god protecting them, no divine guardian to grant them power. But they had something better. They had death itself. "These idiots never learn," Death muttered, its dark cloak rippling among the stars. 5 years earlier, before the war started, humans were the new kids in the Galactic Assembly. Picture the biggest high school cafeteria you've ever seen, but filled with aliens from 1,000 worlds. Some looked like walking crystals, others like giant squids in robot suits. And there sat humanity, the scrappy newcomers who'd clawed their way to the stars without any help from the gods. Most aliens found humans fascinating. How had these squishy creatures from a deadly planet survived long enough to reach space? Earth was basically nature's version of a horror movie. Earthquakes, volcanoes, deadly animals, and diseases that could wipe out millions. Any normal species would have given up and gone extinct. But humans, they just got stronger. Hit that like button if you want to hear how humanity turned every disaster into a victory, Death whispered to the audience. Because this story is about to get wild. The Zothran couldn't stand humans. Imagine the richest, most spoiled brat in school getting mad because the poor kid worked hard and achieved success. That's how the Zothran felt. Their god had given them everything: powerful weapons, advanced ships, and the ability to conquer worlds. Yet here were humans, building their own path to the stars through pure determination. So, the Zothran decided to teach humanity a lesson. They attacked human colonies, expecting an easy victory, but they didn't know humanity's secret weapon. They didn't know about death. The Zothran's first attack hit a small human colony on Mars. They thought it would be easy, just swoop in with their godly weapons and watch the humans run. Boy, were they wrong. You should have seen their faces, Death chuckled, floating above the red planet. The Zothran commander, a tall alien covered in golden scales, stood proud on his ship's bridge. "These humans will bow before our divine might," he declared. Then something weird happened. Instead of running away, the human colonists fought back. They turned the underground mining tunnels into a maze of traps. Years of living on a harsh planet had taught them how to survive anywhere. The Zothran soldiers found themselves stuck in narrow tunnels, facing humans who'd been preparing for disaster since they first landed on Mars. Back in the Galactic Assembly, aliens watched in shock as reports came in. The mighty Zothran army was being beaten by simple miners and farmers. No fancy weapons, no divine power, just human ingenuity and the lessons learned from facing death countless times. Mira Solis, Earth's ambassador, stood before the assembly. She wasn't tall or scary-looking like the Zothran. She just had this look in her eyes, the kind you get when you're done taking nonsense from bullies. "You think we're weak because we have no god?" she asked the Zothran ambassador. "Let me tell you about our teacher, the one who tried to wipe us out with ice ages and watched us invent fire, the one who sent plagues and saw us create medicine, the one who's been trying to kill us since we first walked upright." The air in the assembly grew cold. Shadows gathered in the center of the room. The Zothran ambassador laughed. "You expect us to believe death itself would help you?" "Help them." Death materialized, tall and dark, holding a scythe that gleamed with starlight. "These stubborn creatures turned every challenge I threw at them into a strength. When I froze their world, they built better shelters. When I sent predators, they made weapons. When I unleashed diseases, they created cures." Death turned to the Zothran, its empty eyes somehow showing amusement. "You think your god makes you strong? These humans have been fighting me since before they knew how to make fire. And here's the funny part, they never give up. Trust me, I've tried to make them quit for millions of years." Across human space, the war kicked into high gear. The Zothran expected to find weak colonies. Instead, they found people who treated survival like an art form. On Venus, humans fought from floating cities in acid clouds. On Europa, they turned ice tunnels into deadly mazes. Every colony had backup plans for their backup plans. "Remember that time I sent an asteroid to wipe them out?" Death asked, floating through a battlefield. They not only survived, they figured out how to mine asteroids and build space stations. Drop a like if you appreciate that level of spite. The Zothran brought their biggest fleet to Earth, thinking they'd finally crush humanity's homeworld. 20,000 ships, all blessed by their war god, darkened Earth's skies. Earth's defense platforms activated, technology built from centuries of fighting everything nature could throw at them, satellites that could survive solar flares, weapons designed to work in any environment, ships piloted by people who grew up hearing stories about surviving impossible odds. The Zothran commander's voice boomed across space. "Surrender now! Our god has blessed us with victory." The human admiral laughed. Your God gave you everything, she replied. But death taught us to take nothing for granted. Share this moment with your friends, folks. It's about to get epic. Earth's defenses lit up like a Christmas tree. Turns out, when you spend your entire history fighting death itself, you get pretty good at surviving. The Zothrans' blessed weapons met human ingenuity, and guess which one won? They really should have checked humanity's track record, Death mused, watching Zothran ships explode. Back in the assembly, Mira stood tall as news of Earth's victory spread. The Zothran ambassador couldn't believe his eyes. His divine weapons, his blessed armies, all defeated by a species that treated survival like a daily hobby. Here's the thing about humans, Death explained to the shocked assembly. I've thrown everything at them, ice ages, plagues, disasters, but they're like that annoying friend who won't stop sending you memes. They just keep coming back. Death floated over to the Zothran ambassador. You thought having a god made you special? These humans turned me into their advantage. Like this video if you appreciate the irony. The Zoltran Empire's defeat was total. Not because humans were stronger or had better weapons, but because you can't scare a species that's been playing tag with death since they invented a wheel. The Zotran learned their second big lesson when they tried to use biological weapons. They unleashed a deadly virus on the colony of New Eden, expecting mass panic. Instead, they found humans already wearing hazmat suits, running quarantine protocols they'd perfected centuries ago. Seriously? One human doctor said, already studying the alien virus. We survived the Black Death, Spanish flu, and about 1 million common colds. This is just Tuesday for us. Within weeks, human scientists hadn't just cured the Zothran virus, they'd modified it to heal radiation damage. Those same weapons that were supposed to kill them, now they were using them in medical bays to treat space radiation poisoning. The Zotrans' next brilliant idea was to target Earth's food supplies. They destroyed farms and blocked supply routes, expecting starvation to force a surrender. But humans had been preparing for food shortages since their first cave paintings. Every colony had underground gardens. Every space station grew its own food. People who'd survived famines and droughts had passed down knowledge through generations. Kids learned hydroponics before they could walk. If you're loving this story of human ingenuity, smash that subscribe button. More epic tales of humanity's clever solutions coming up. When the Zothran tried psychological warfare, broadcasting fear-inducing signals across human space, they hit another wall. Turns out, a species that invented horror movies for fun wasn't easily scared. Humans started remixing the fear signals into dance music. Doing what? The Zothran war chief demanded, watching humans host parties with his terror broadcasts as background beats. Don't miss out on more amazing stories of humans turning alien attacks into party themes. Subscribe and ring that notification bell right now. The war took an even funnier turn when humans started using social media tactics against the Zothrans. They hacked alien communication channels to send memes. Zothran soldiers would open their tactical displays only to find pictures of cats with sarcastic captions about their divine weapons. Some human colonies started rating their invasions like restaurant reviews. Orbital bombardment was prompt, but the ground assault lacked enthusiasm. 3 stars would resist again. Share this video if you've ever turned a bad situation into a joke. Humans are the galaxy's masters at it. The final straw came when humans started teaching other alien species their survival tricks. Soon, planets that the Zothran had easily conquered before were using human tactics. Underground bunkers, guerrilla warfare, and backup plans for their backup plans spread across the galaxy. The Zothan Empire's mighty fleet now faced not just humanity, but dozens of species using human survival techniques. Their God-given weapons meant nothing against the combined ingenuity of races who'd learned from humanity's greatest teacher, death itself. The galaxy watched in amazement as humanity's survival skills spread like wildfire. The Andromeda species, tall blue beings who'd always relied on pure strength, started learning human martial arts. Soon they were combining their natural power with Earth's ancient fighting techniques. These humans turned their physical weakness into an advantage, an Andromedian warrior explained while flipping a Zothran soldier twice his size. They're basically professional underdogs. The jellyfish-like Medusans, who'd always feared solid ground, learned from human submariners how to adapt to any environment. Within months, they were building underwater cities using designs from human deep-sea bases. Even the silicon-based crystallites started copying human emergency protocols. Their disaster response plans are like poetry, a crystallite leader chimed, their facets glowing with admiration. The Zothrans' biggest shock came when they tried to attack Earth's internet servers. They expected to cripple human communication. Instead, they found themselves battling teenagers who'd been fighting cyber trolls since grade school. The alien hackers didn't stand a chance against kids who'd grown up outsmarting AI content filters. Wait, did they just rickroll our entire battle fleet? A Zothran commander asked in disbelief. As the war dragged on, human culture began infecting even the Zothran's own ranks. Young Zothran warriors started questioning their leaders. Why rely on divine gifts when you could learn to survive on your own? Some began secretly watching human survival shows, practicing Earth skills in hidden bunkers. The turning point came during the Battle of Proxima Centauri. The Zothran launched their ultimate weapon, a sun killer capable of destroying entire solar systems. They expected terror. Instead, they watched in shock as human ships performed maneuvers that shouldn't have been possible, moves learned from centuries of dodging natural disasters. Did that human ship just drift around a solar flare? A Zothran gunner asked. Who does that? Humanity's influence grew so strong that other species started creating their own versions of Earth's history books. The galaxy realized something important. Gods might grant power, but true strength comes from overcoming challenges on your own. The Zothran Empire's defeat wasn't just military, it was cultural. Their perfect, God-blessed society crumbled in the face of humanity's messy, persistent, adaptable nature. Across the galaxy, species began choosing humanity's path of self-reliance over divine protection. The funniest part? Aliens became obsessed with human hobbies. They couldn't understand why humans did dangerous things for fun, but they couldn't resist trying them either. The Crystallites discovered skateboarding. Picture 8 tall crystal beings trying to do kickflips in zero gravity. They kept breaking their boards but refused to quit, just like their human teachers. They even started their own X Games, calling it the Crystal Crush Championship. Is it normal to shatter 15 times before landing a trick? A young Crystallite asked their human instructor. Dude, you should see how many times we break our bones learning this stuff, the instructor replied. The Medusans fell in love with cooking shows. These floating jellyfish beings couldn't even eat solid food, but they hosted their own version called Master Chef Galactic Edition. They'd spend hours creating beautiful dishes they couldn't taste just to understand human culture better. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could compare to when aliens discovered human memes. The Zothran, those former mighty warriors, became the galaxy's biggest memers. Their war channels now broadcast nothing but space cat videos and epic fail compilations of their own invasion attempts. Remember when we tried to look scary? A Zothran teenager posted. Now we're making TikTok dances about it. The Draconians, once the galaxy's most serious species, got hooked on human reality TV. They created their own version of Keeping Up with the Kardashians called Keeping Up with the Clutch Leaders. It was just dramatic lizard aliens arguing about who shed their scales at the wrong time. Double tap that like button for more alien reality show moments. Even in death couldn't escape human influence. The cosmic entities started making dad jokes during apocalyptic events. Why did the human cross the asteroid belt? To prove they could. The Galactic Olympics had to create new categories because aliens kept inventing hybrid sports. Zero-gravity parkour became huge. The Andromedans combined basketball with jetpacks. The Crystallites made extreme meditation a thing. They'd meditate in active volcanoes because humans would probably do it. Dating across species exploded after aliens adopted human romance customs. The Medusans tried speed dating. They all got tangled up in their tentacles from nervousness. The Crystallites wrote poetry that literally sparkled, and the Zothran started a dating app called Divine Swipe. But the best part, every time a new species joined the Galactic Assembly, the first thing they'd ask wasn't about technology or trade deals. It was always, can you teach us how to be like humans? That's how humanity became the galaxy's greatest teachers, not through conquest or divine power, but by showing the universe that being undefeatable isn't about never falling, it's about always getting back up. If this story of humanity's unstoppable spirit inspired you, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Share this video with anyone who needs a reminder that humans don't know how to quit. And remember, just like our ancestors who stared down ice ages, plagues, and death itself, you too are undefeatable. See you in the next video.